Hello everyone and welcome to another top 10 video countdown. Today we'll be doing something a little bit different than our usual Pokemon rundowns and instead focus on my other great passion, Yu-Gi-Oh! So today I'll be counting down my top 10 favourite Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon cards, which was the very first set released in the TCG. If all goes well, should be following this up with videos based on the other sets, but let's just see for now. Alright, without further ado, let's start the countdown. Number 10, we have Flower Wolf. Now, what can I say? I love wolves, I love fusions, and I like things that look absolutely fabulous. This covers all that and then some. It was also really epic in the TV anime Capture Monsters 2. Really good card. At number 9 we have Tripwire Piece. Now there's just something about this card that I really like. Its design is so cool with the pulsating electromagnetic waves travelling through its body, and the fact that it looks like it could be any number of types just really appeals to me. It's quite ambiguous, and for the time it had good stats. At number 8 we have the Flame Swordsman. I really can't do accents. It's just so utterly epic looking, and it's such an iconic monster. I'm so glad that Joey from the anime saw it as his favourite monster, as evidenced by how he became that in the episode where Bakura did that weird shadow game magic. Anyway, so as you'll see in the later videos, a liking of Joey from the anime strongly influenced cards that I value as my favourites. And I really love how it did get a kind of updated version with the blue flame swordsman in Legendary Collection Joey's World, as I feel that this has allowed a new generation the chance to rediscover this amazing card and kind of reconnect with it. At number 7 we have the Red Eyes Black Dragon. So on the theme of Joey's boss monsters, none more so typifies him best than the Red Eyes Black Dragon. In my opinion, it forms part of the holy trinity of cards, along with Dark Magician and Blue Eyes White Dragon, as like the pinnacle of the main character's cards. And it has long since been my favourite of the bunch. All of its artworks are excellent, and I'm so super hyped for the new support that's coming in Clash of Rebellions, as at last the Red Eyes deck will be playable, and I will definitely be playing it. At number 6 is Succubus Night. Now this is a bit of a surprise entry, but if you just take a look at the OCG entry, here we go, and you see where the card is here. I maintain staunchly that one of the main reasons contributing to Yu-Gi-Oh's early success was that it had boobs within a children's card game. Parents couldn't get mad and ban children from what is primarily a game for children, and so Yu-Gi-Oh offered the perfect outlet to sexual desires with parents' financial consent. I'll stop with the sex stuff and parents before we get Freudian, but you get the idea. Solicited sexual imagery equals success. Sadly, censorship happens and we never get the fruity art in the TCG, which is a shame, as essentially we're left with worse products. I mean, the buff male Yu-Gi-Oh cards don't get censored, so why censor the females? It would surely mean increased sales. Sex most definitely sells. At number 5 we have Reaper of the Cards. The harvester of dead monsters, the keeper of lost souls, the protector of the grave. Well, it could have been a lot better, to be honest, if it had a strong effect, but nevertheless, its depiction in the anime and its amazing design mean it truly has to be in this list. At number 4 we have the 13th Grave. Now I've been thinking, the reason I might be so weird could stem from my liking of blatantly weird Yu-Gi-Oh cards. But it really isn't my fault. I mean, the guys at Konami really knew what they were doing when they made these epic looking monsters with amazing flavor text. I'm so obsessed with it, to be honest, that I've even made some creator cards of the other grave monsters to help support it and make vanilla zombies a thing. It is my dream to someday own 16 of these. 13 could be used to create a nightmarish Zodiac-like fortune wheel, with the other 3 being my actual playset. I love this card so much, but sadly it's not exactly useful in duels, which really is a shame. At number 3 we have Polymerization. Polymerization. I mean, its legacy lives on even today, with it being reprinted in the most recent structure deck, Heroes Strike. It is such a solid card that works for literally any fusion-based deck, and the amount of support it has around it means it's easily searchable and is never dead in the hand. The artwork of it and the alternate version are both epic, and the card has actually gained in popularity as fusions have become more of a mainstay through GX, and now again their time has come. Polymerization is love. Polymerization is life. At number 2 we have Sosa Servant. Now Sosa Servant has become an icon for how to support normal monsters throughout the years. It started off as a terribly weak monster that sort of gave it an endearing quality to fans, but then through following support every couple of years it's helped to solidify it as a strong deck choice. When the king came later, it actually gave a reason to run them, getting them to be dumped into the graveyard to fuel its mammoth attack. Then the lady in white helped to support it, and White Mare, and finally the White Prince, just making it amazing. Add to that all the general support for zombies, and this card still remains viable in the meta today. And that is an amazing achievement for what on paper is the lowest of the low. A lovely looking card, flavour text that foretold what has happened since, and the key to a useful deck all in such a humble body. There's no reason not to love Sosa Servant, really. It's just such a brilliant card. Now that white there is my build, featuring light swans in order to fill the grave even faster. Now we come to the honourable mentions. Skull Red Bird, solid stats and cool design. Turtle Tiger, likewise. And obviously Monster Reborn, legitimately the first card in any deck. Well, when it wasn't banned, that is. Number 1 we have Raigeki. Now, back in the good old days when everyone in my primary school played Yu-Gi-Oh, there was a boy with a card that could devastate any opponent's field, allowing for easy victories. Whilst holding that card in the lunch queue and discussing how lucky he was to have pulled it, another child asked to have a look at the card. The first boy passed that card to the child, who then proceeded to tear the card and the boy's world to pieces. From then on, the boy became staunchly obsessed with his cards, never letting anyone else go near them. The card that had brought so much joy to that boy was gone, and with it the boy's trust and faith in humanity had been erased. Now that boy grew up and started making YouTube videos, and is, well, me, fairly obviously. So why is the card on the list then, if it caused me so much emotional pain, I hear you cry? The answer is simple, really. In Legendary Collection Joey's World, the card was reprinted, and I was lucky enough to pull it once more. Joy of joys! But by this point in the game, the card had long since been banned, so I sleeved it and left it alone for nearly a year. Fast forward to October 2014, and the card came off the forbidden list and was newly limited. I delve into my collection, find it again, and now I run it in pretty much every single deck I own and online. Why, you ask? Well, I sort of like to think of it as the honey badger of Yu-Gi-Oh! Opponent got a field of 5 monsters, Raigeki don't give a shit. Opponent only got 1 strong monster, Raigeki don't give a shit. Opponent got loads of set monsters, Raigeki don't give a shit. Opponent got a monster with destruction immunity, well then Raigeki gives a shit about that monster, but goes ahead and kills all the others. It's just endlessly versatile mass destruction, and very satisfying to draw when you are close to losing. Some meta nerds would argue that it's not particularly useful in the co-op metagame, what with Shadows and Burning Abyss getting effects when they're sent to the graveyard. But you know what I say to that? Who cares if they can set up their hand for the next turn when I get rid of their already set up field this turn? Or who cares if I enable them to win next turn when I get rid of their field and I'm able to push for game this turn? It's just a great card, and I see no reason not to use it. And now, for proof that I actually have the cards, there's Little Flower Wolf, my Tripwire Piece, if you can see them clearly, there we are, a couple of Flame Swordsman, very fun card, my Red Eyes Black Dragons, lovely alternate art there, Succubus Night, more like she'll suck you boys tonight. Terrible pun, but had to be done at some point. Reaper of the Cards, lovely, brilliant. My 4th, 13th graves. Only 12 more to go, and then I'll have my dream. My polymerizations, brilliant. Some Skull Servant. Sorry, nothing's in the way. There we are. It's a classic card. Skullwed Bird. Turtle Tiger. Didn't bring my Monster Reborns because they're literally about 15 to 20 at home because they were in every pack at the start. And then my Pride and Joy, at least at the set. Right, Geki. I want to make babies with you. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment down below to voice your thoughts. Anyway, this is Fimbulvetr signing off. Goodbye.